What is going on? Welcome to episode 63 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2 on this one. Hey, Zero. What's going on, dude?
Yo. It's your boy, Hate Zero, your hero.
Oh my gosh. Now your boy is in there?
It's an evolving, ever evolving.
Okay, congratulations. We just won YouTube, so keep it up.
All right.
Keep it up. All right. Well, this is going to be an exciting show. We are going to be talking about Celeste. There's a few Nintendo rumors. We're going to be giving away 2 copies of Floor Kids. 2, that's right. And we actually have a 3rd copy to give away. If you join our Discord, we're going to be giving that away I don't know, how about Friday? Make somebody's Friday. Does that sound like a plan?
I think that's a solid idea, and it gives people time to listen to this if they can't make it live and react appropriately.
Exactly. So, before we jump into it, guys, if you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, you can go to audibletrial.com/NPC. There you can choose from many books. Books I've been listening to recently, The Ultimate History of Video Games, which is amazing, and also been listening to, if you're interested in just the history of certain games like Halo Wars, Shovel Knight, Stardew Valley, check out Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. It's another book on there that's really good. So audibletrial.com/NPC. The chair I'm sitting in from OP Seat. You can go to opseat.com, get yourself a comfortable, affordable gaming chair, and use coupon code N64Josh to save yourself $10. If you are in a chair a lot, I recommend these things. I've literally had 8-hour streaming sessions and get up and just feel great. So good chair, highly recommend. So that's opseat.com, coupon code N64Josh. I do have a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/N64Josh for $1. You get yourself an extra podcast each month. There is some other tiers on there, so go check that out if you're interested. And lastly, I have a couple of shirts out there. I'll put links to them right in the show notes. You'll be able to see them there. One of them is a blue shell from Mario Kart that says, "Hello, darkness, my old friend," because
Classic.
We all love blue shells. And then I just have a shirt of my avatar. So there'll be links in the show notes for that. If you're in chat, you can hit !shirt, and that brings it up. So that's it for advertisements, all that stuff. We're going to be doing the show at a new time. That's right. We're going to be doing it at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. The other podcast that I do is just going to go on a hiatus for a little bit. And so this is going to be at 6 o'clock. So it's earlier. If you guys want to be able to come hang out and check out the show live, you're now going to be able to, which is, it's just more fun. I already see quite a few more people in here and I'm guessing because it's, not starting so late. So that'll be 6 p.m. twitch.tv/N64Josh Tuesday nights. And I think that's all the things, right? I just want to say hi, everybody. Shell Shock, Wib, Henny, Chai Tea Lady, anybody, Pudding, anybody that's just lurking. Hello, welcome. I think I saw Yickum earlier. I had to refresh because my chat wasn't loading. So, Corey, what's going on? What is going on? So, hey, what have you been playing, man?
Well, I've been playing a little gem in the rough. Celeste. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I don't know when the most appropriate time to talk about that is. I don't know if you want to do like a reviews later, or impressions. We're going to just do it now.
Let's just jump into it. I do. Wait, there's something behind you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are you talking this something?
Yes.
Yeah. I found it. Oh, I found it. And I tried it. Oh, that's not on the camera. That's barely, I'm just now seeing what everyone else is saying. They're like, what is he talking about? It's a box of Super Mario cereal, everyone. I found multiple boxes of Super Mario cereal. And I got to tell you, the cereal itself is a green shell at best. Not a huge fan. But if you like Lucky Charms, have at it. So I wasn't, it's maybe a tier above Lucky Charms for me. How did you like it?
Oh, I have like such a sweet tooth when it comes to like marshmallow cereal. I'm all about it. So,
Okay.
yeah. Each time I've sat down with a new box, I've left with an empty box. So, thankfully
Okay,
there was
so-
at least one little kid I was sharing with, either my daughter or my nephew, but yeah, they didn't get much.
I'm very happy they're doing it. Although I don't love the cereal, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna have that box forever. I refuse to open it. My wife is now questioning my mental capacity. She's like, "You're now collecting cereal? Like, when is this going to stop? Like, cereal? Really? You can't keep that forever." And I was like, "Oh, I'm keeping this forever. It's a box of cereal. It'll be fine. You won't even know it's there."
Hey, if this is Nintendo from the 80s and 90s coming back, we're going to have lampshades. We're going to have like the ceiling fan. You can replace the blades with the, Mario characters on them. Like, you name it. Shower curtains. Yeah, I got to collect that. It's got Mario on it. Right. So
now here's the question. Are all the things amiibos too? Am I going to have to like go up to my ceiling fan and like try to get it while it's rotating?
Yeah, just listen to your Joy-Cons go. Yeah, not recommended. Kids, don't try that at home or anywhere. So, well, cool. Glad you found some cereal. Happy for you. Have you used the amiibo?
I have not yet. Is it worth it?
I don't know. I don't use amiibo. I only look at them. Remember? So
yeah, you only keep them locked in the closet.
Yeah. That's really. I mean, yeah. Kirby says it. We have to put an amiibo chip into us eventually. So that'll be great.
Yeah. Why not?
So,
but yeah, I was excited to find it. And funny, I'm checking out, and this guy had to be, he was older than I'm not good at judging age. He was anywhere between 30 and 50 years old. Okay, and this gentleman comes up and he's like, "Hey, is that the Mario cereal?" I was like, "It sure is." He's like, the right one, the one with the amiibos. I was like, "Yeah, it is." He's like, were there any more of those? Because I had 3 boxes, I think. And I think he was going to like try to fight me for one. And I'm like, "No, there's more, dude." And I walked him over to where they are, and he's like, "Oh, thank you so much." And he grabbed a few boxes too. But yeah, he was anywhere from 10 to 60 years old or something.
10 to 60.
It's hard to tell. Kids these days, 10, no, he was
60.
definitely a full adult male, 30 plus years old. I would guess 45, but again, I'm really bad at that.
You should have pulled your phone out right there and just interviewed him. That we could have just put it on the show. Like, what is your hype levels for finding this cereal?
That's a great idea. I'll just sit
Just
in
go to
the
the
like
grocery
next
store.
to the cereal, and I can do that on like weekends, nights. It'll be great.
Every person, like, how hyped are you for this? Like, get away from me, dude.
Yeah, they're like, "We were looking for grape nuts. This isn't." I was like, "Oh, okay, well, moving on."
Grape nuts. All right. Well, enough of this cereal. Let's talk about Celeste.
Yes.
You jumped into the Discord. I think, was it Friday morning or Thursday night or something? And you were like, "Everyone get Celeste. You have to have Celeste. It's the best game ever." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm trying to play through. I want to actually, my goal this year is to finish games." So I'm like, okay, the Mummy Demastered. I'm getting into this. I'm going to finish it. And I got my map up to like 64%. And you're like, "You got to get this. You got to get this." And then everybody in Discord starts to get it. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't be the one kid not sitting at the table with everyone else." So
Yeah.
I pulled the trigger as well. But what makes this well, according to him this morning, it was the game of the year already. It's the indie game of the year. So
Yeah.
that's saying something.
Well, so every maybe 3 or 4 days, I get extremely just hyped out of my mind for a new game. So this is the one to cover that time frame. No, I just had this. I want a new game, and then I saw a quick video for Celeste, and I was like, "Oh man, that looks pretty cool." I did read a review. It got like a perfect score, and I was like, "Okay, whatever." I'm not a huge fan of scorer reviews because it's so hard. Like, is Celeste as good as Zelda? I don't know. Who knows? But so I picked it up anyways. I was like, whatever, I'll do it. This was Friday morning. I played maybe 5 minutes of it and maybe like 10 minutes of it. And the controls were so on point. The music, the art style, I was like, okay, I need to stop playing and go jump in the Discord and let everybody know that there is a new kid in town. And so I did.
And you've already beat this game, which is also unlike.
No, I didn't. No. No.
So you haven't completed your game of the year yet, but you're getting there.
Yeah. Do you really need to beat a game of the year? I mean, you just know. So I did say, had this came out in 2017, I would probably say this was definitely running for my indie game of the year. I think for 2018, obviously I joke when I say it's indie game of the year, but this is the problem with coming out with the game so early in the year, because I think this could be a front runner for an indie game of the year. But we're going to have a lot of titles between now and the end of the year, and it might get forgotten about.
There's a chance. It is a ton of fun, though. I mean, it's a platformer. There's not much in the way of enemies, right? I mean, no. you have like some little like kind of enemies that you have to avoid periodically, but it's basically you versus the map. And you are the enemy. Yeah. And it is frustrating and at the same time extremely rewarding. Yeah. I streamed it last night for about an hour, and like it was literally let's just say I'm not sure how I kept it Nintendo approved.
So the one thing I said about the game, I think it's challenging without being punishing. Because there's some games that are just overly hard by being overly hard. Like I enjoyed Cuphead. I'm not very far, so we shouldn't even talk too much about that. So let's not. But I enjoyed it. But you can only get hit 3 times, but you have to shoot bosses, I think about 6 to 7 million times for them to die.
Yeah, it's a fair estimate.
I don't know. That to me, that just kind of, that can be fun too, and it definitely has its place, but that's more punishing just for the sake of being punishing.
The spikes are very unforgiving. And if you can find the secret room, you get to play 8-bit Celeste, where Madeline can't climb. She can only slide down the side of walls. And so it proved to be fairly tricky, but was quite fun. Quite fun. I think I made it through. I was in I think I was into the 3rd stage. I think I had made it through 2 of the stages. So I don't know if you beat that, if it's something you come back to. I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe there's only 3 and I quit early. I don't know. But I had been going for an hour. Here's what I will say. If you grew up on the NES or the Super Nintendo, you will understand what Nintendo Thumb is. Whereas if you didn't grow up on those, you may not know what that is. But what Nintendo Thumb is, especially when you play games like Street Fighter 2 and you're throwing a lot of fireballs, you get this kind of your thumb gets a little sore, and then it turns into a lot more sore, and then the skin starts to kind of get raw, and so
can we go off topic,
please?
Nintendo, didn't they famously they lost a lawsuit and had to famously provide people with gloves who requested it for one of the Mario parties?
Yeah, 64, because they were putting the analog stick in the center of their hand.
Just spinning it around. And
rotating it as fast as they could. So not only were they wearing out their controllers, they were wearing out their hands. Just, my cousin actually had a giant blister from... Oh, yeah. Yeah, she ruined her hand doing that. So... It is a thing, so beware.
Oh yeah.
If you want to experience Nintendo thumb, maybe for the first time, Celeste is the game that will introduce Nintendo thumb to you. I can guarantee it.
Did you try the D-pad at all? I played all analog stick, so I don't even know if the D-pad's a better option or not.
I only used the D-pad on, and I tried with both of my controllers because I have the Xenoblade Chronicles Pro controller and the regular Pro controller, and I even saw a Reddit post of somebody saying like I didn't hate the D-pad until I had to play Celeste with it, and I know like DJ. He was like, I don't want to play Celeste until I get a controller with a good D-pad. And so I had a few instances where on my regular controller, what will happen is the D-pad will register more than one direction because there's like a little stem in the middle that's too tall, unfortunately. And so I did have that happen. Not that often. It wasn't like, I'm throwing my controller because this isn't working.
Right.
But I had none of that with my Xenoblade controller. None of that at all. So,
okay.
But those are really hard to find.
yeah, they are. Yes, they are. So I've played all analog stick, and I've had no issues with it. Like I don't like the way the D-pad sits with my thumb being under. I prefer the thumb placement for the analog stick, so that's just how I've played. And you
also won't get Nintendo thumb using the analog stick. So pro tip right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You might. I mean, it's still possible, I suppose. But yeah, no, you won't. You won't get the old school D-pad Nintendo thumb. That is a true statement.
Mikey B. Plain says he did analog and it seemed fine. So
yeah, I think it works well. Did you try it at all? Because I played it off, undocked or whatever a little bit. Yeah. And it was okay. What's weird is like something has happened with the Switch that I never thought would happen to me. And that is because it doesn't really have a D-pad when you play it, when it's undocked, you just have to get used to it. You just have to get used to the analog stick. So that's basically what I've been doing. Yeah. What I've been doing. So either way, it was fine. But it is strange. It's still strange that I like certain times I'm not using the D-pad on these old school games. It's like I'll like catch myself and go, "This doesn't feel right," and then I'm like, actually, I'm kind of, I'm glad I'm getting used to being able to do both, but yeah, I still don't think I could do a fighting game with the analog stick though. Not like Street Fighter. I mean, obviously Smash that's just the way it's always been, but right. Yeah, that makes sense. I've only played handheld now that I think about it for Celeste. I've been all handheld with it. So I need to try it with Pro Controller. That might change my opinion. So
yeah, do it. And I mean, just to see it on the big screen is pretty cool too. That's one of the things that kind of blew me away with the Mummy Demastered. I had played only handheld, and then I finally put it on the dock and was like, this game looks amazing. Like the pixel art is gorgeous, like, I mean, it looked fine on the small screen, but when I finally put it onto the big screen, I was like, wow, there's a ton of detail here. Like it looked pretty cool. So, and Celeste looks good. Wib said watching Josh play an 8-bit was hilariously awesome. I mean, literally I was making up words, like it was intense.
I was making up words. So you were the dad from A Christmas Story?
Yeah, when the dogs come running in, that was basically me. I would jump and hit spikes, and like, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Awesome. That's awesome. So, what are so for me, I don't know if I want to give it a shell review yet. I think everyone kind of assumes where I'm leaning on that. But I think this is without a doubt a must-own game. Even if you don't have a Switch and you're listening, wanting to get a Switch down the road, it's on every platform, I believe, right? It's a Steam game. It's Xbox, PS4.
Yes.
It's a must-buy. Everyone should play it. It's very good and deserves to be played.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the same thing. I do want to do a full review once I get a little further into it, but I am I'm having a blast with it, and really glad I picked it up. I did see in our chat, like, some people were saying that they wished you didn't have to use the right trigger to be able to stick to the wall.
Yeah.
I can see the reason for it, so that you can use your thumb just to focus on jumping and boosting. Because if you had to try to do all three, it might be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, it'd be hard to hold on to the wall and jump boost at the same time. Otherwise, I mean, unless you have an extra thumb.
Right. Yeah. So they were saying they would have liked to send that at least the option to remap stuff, but
yeah.
I got used to it really fast, so it didn't bother me. Kimbo Trout is asking, is it for casual players? I mean, it's one of those things. If you want to take the time to figure out the puzzles, and that's really what it is. Like, a lot of times there's going to be items that you have to pick up, and so you can try to figure out the way to get the item. There's like a strawberry, and then finish the level up that way, or you can just try to get through the level. And it like I said, it is rewarding for casuals. Yeah. It does seem like a pretty hardcore game, you know, and the further along you get, the harder it gets. And so, you know,
I don't think of myself as anything more than a casual gamer these days, and I'm enjoying it. So it, maybe
I guess it's hard to define casual gamer anymore. Is a casual just somebody who plays periodically but still has decent thumb skill, or is a casual somebody that, like, needs to use the drive assist on Mario Kart? You know,
I think a casual can play it. So I really think they can. So, like Josh said earlier, there's not really enemies that you have to deal with. So, you know, even if you're a casual player, all you have to do is learn what you're supposed to do. So you look at the map, you go, okay, I have to jump and hang on this wall. So you do that 20 times and figure out how to do that. Then from there, I have to slide down and then jump and boost to this one over here. So you'll learn it as you go, and it may take you way longer if you're just not good at it. That's fine. I mean, the game doesn't reward you for dying, but the deaths are really quick, and it kind of makes fun of you, because at the end of each level, I think it tallies how many deaths you had. And when you complete the game, some guy I saw on Twitter beat the game with like over 3,000 deaths or something. So it's no big deal if you die. No big deal.
No, and at the end of each level, you get to there's basically a monument that was like, to all those who perished on the way here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, which I got a kick out of, and then they told me in chat that I was twisted and dark. So, you know, whatever. Mr. Person says, Celeste speedrun when? Yeah, like, that's the thing. This is one of those games, when the speedrun community gets a hold of it and really starts figuring out, there's probably already people doing it. Like, it could be crazy. It could be crazy. Yeah. You're just watching going, how are you pulling off some of these moves, you know?
Did you try any of the B-side tapes? Have you found a B-side tape and got into that at all?
I found one, but I have not tried any of them.
Okay. I jumped into it just to look at it, and apparently that's where the challenge really is. So a casual probably won't be messing with the B-side tapes. I didn't go very far, so I can't say if there's enemies there, but it's just, your reactions have to be perfect. You're going to mess up about 1 million times.
I know Killer from our Discord, he was saying he spent 2 hours on one of those B-side missions, and it was
just one level.
Yeah, just one level. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it.
So, and it was one of those things, though. I think based on just what I read from him, is that he was still having a good time. You know, even though it was kind of kicking his butt, he was still having a good time with it. So,
So the controls are solid. So even when I've died, I've only died because I did something wrong. So I've never felt the game was cheap or like, oh, they did this just to be cheap. Like, it wasn't like that. Like, I'm having fun even as I'm dying because the controls are so precise and they're a lot of fun, but they're also incredibly precise and unforgiving. If you tell Madeline to do something, she's going to do exactly that. And the game does not really hold your hand at all.
No, and it's got decent physics too. Like one of the things I was having to do in this in the 8-bit worlds was like basically I started on this small little cliff and I had to slide down and then wall jump and then boost once and then hit a balloon and then boost up twice. Well, if I didn't have enough momentum getting to that first balloon, I couldn't make that second jump. And so because it was nothing but spikes, I had to jump over a wall of spikes. There was nothing to grab onto or anything like that. And so that's one of the things that was kind of like really cool about these stages and everything is that you are trying to figure out these puzzles, but you only maybe figure out like, okay, I figured out the first part of it. Now I've got to kind of get that down as I'm figuring out the second part of it. You know, and I mean, I think the people in chat would agree with me. There were times that it was like, there's no way you're going to do that level a second time. You know, like I got through it almost where like it looked perfect. And I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm doing that again. Like, because 15 tries before that, I would hit the spikes on the first run, you know, the first jump, I'm dead. First jump, dead. Then all of a sudden I'm like boom, 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 out of the level. And even I was surprised at what was happening. So, awesome. Nightcrawler says physics in this game get better in the fourth level with wind. So that sounds intriguing. I remember seeing that in the video when they showed the game off. So yeah, that should be fun.
So when you found 8-bit, were you using the game audio? Because one of my favorite things for the game has been the music and the audio. I'm hoping when you go to 8-bit world, it changes to 8-bit music.
I'm trying to remember. I had the sound on. I couldn't really hear it over the sounds I was making, so I'm not real sure. Like it was kind of a continual yell out of my just the pure frustration and fun mixed in one. So. Henny says it was gold. So
there you go. There you go.
Hey, there's Killer. We were just talking about you, buddy. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure though. You basically find an old school computer. So I'm pretty sure the sound was, I just didn't have it cranked is all. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get a little further and, next week, hopefully, give my final reviews, but, even not completing the game, I say it's definitely worth picking up and playing. I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed by it.
The chat, I still don't understand how it is fun.
We got to play it. Watching it is probably just frustrating for you because you're like, no, do something else. And so when you're controlling it, it's kind of like being in the backseat of a car with someone else driving. You're like, why are you switching lanes so much? So you got to play it. It's definitely fun. Definitely fun.
So, and the last point I want to make about this game is the graphics are cool. It's like the 16-bit sprites, the level design, again, really, really good. But one of the things that's helped making this game do so well, I mean, I think you mentioned earlier, there's a number of 10 score, like perfect 10s, a number of them. And one of the things that's intriguing about this game is the story. Like it sucks you in and you want to know what's going on and why are you climbing this mountain? And like, honestly, I don't know if anybody has played through Braid that is listening to this, but I was getting Braid vibes from this game where I'm like, trying to figure out like, okay, what is going on here? Like I have some guesses already, but it definitely has me intrigued. So It just makes getting through the levels that much more rewarding.
So what's the first dude you meet by the fire's name, the photographer?
Oh man, I don't remember.
Okay, so he has an actual Instagram with all the photos from the game, and it's not like they put that Instagram up yesterday. They've been posting photos as this character for over 9 months. So he's got a long account, and then like the last photo he took on launch day was the one with Madeline.
That's pretty cool.
It's awesome. It might be Theo. I think you could be right. The first guy you meet, the photographer whose grandfather was a photographer or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. His Yep. Okay. Huh.
So
interesting.
Yeah, he has an actual Instagram that you can go out and view, and it's hilarious because they don't really talk about it, but it's there. It's fun little mini game, or not mini game, but
little Easter egg.
egg.
Yeah, very cool. Well, and like I said, it was the story. I think is another. It's an element to this game that makes it that has drawn me in.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I want to talk a little bit about the Mummy Demastered, because since I put some time into it. The gameplay in that game, absolutely stellar, right? I had a mechanic. I hadn't died in the game up until like this last weekend when I started playing it, and didn't know that one of the mechanics is when you die, you then respawn with 99 health, and you have to go kill your past self or the other agent that has all your gear. Right. So as I was playing it, there were people in chat saying I had to start over because I couldn't kill myself again because there was like too much stuff going on. And there have been some times that I'm like, man, this is frustrating because there's enemies everywhere. You've got to like maybe find a different path to get to yourself, But what's lacking in that game for me really is the story. Like, I don't really care about the mummy, right? Like, to me, it's just not interesting. Maybe it is to some people. The setting isn't all that interesting to me. It definitely has that Metroid vibe in the gameplay and the map and everything. All that stuff is great. It's just, to me, this game would be a step even higher if it was a story that I was a little more invested in. And part of what the problem is it's the mechanic of when you die, you then just become another faceless agent that you have to go and kill your old agent. And so you can't even really get invested in the character whatsoever because they're
kind of sounds like Zombie U.
It is. Yeah. Exactly. So again, and part of the reason I know this game's a little bit older, I really want to have a focus on indies on this show, just kind of like showcasing them, talking about them, and especially when there's slower weeks of Nintendo news. Like, and we're going to try to do ones that are newer and relevant, but I do want to tackle the backlog also. And be able to mention some of these games because they're good. They're good. Mummy Demastered really, really surprised me at just how good it is. But some people have said, it's a little too tough for me, or I've had to start over because of this or that. So if you need that platformer itch scratched, go with Celeste. If you're looking for the Metroidvania, look no further than the Mummy Demastered. Like it's really well done. And the crazy thing is you can get like a shotgun in the game. You can get all these different weapons, flamethrower. The audio is really good for the gunfire. Like it's really, really good. And the music in the Mummy, top notch stuff. Like really, really well done. So
add it to the list of things I didn't need to buy this week.
So that's.
I will say Nintendo's done an amazing job of supporting these indies or making me care about them. I don't know what it is. I've never been one to really care or gravitate towards the indies. And something about the Switch, I don't know if it's just the ease of play, but being able to pick up my Switch and play a quick, level or section of Celeste in under like 5 seconds, maybe that's what's making indies more appealing for me is, if I want to do it on the Xbox, I have to turn my Xbox on, load up the indie I want to play. We're talking minutes till I'm gaming. Where on the Switch, you're looking at under 10 seconds. It's ridiculous. You're laughing at my minutes thing like, oh, wow, that's a total first world problem. And it is a first world problem. You are correct.
Oh my
You are
gosh.
correct. I'm complaining about over 60 seconds. Yes.
Like, I just watched Jim Gaffigan talk about how when we got email, he was so mad he had to go out to the mailbox to actually mail a letter, after that. So that's just what I'm thinking about. And I remember Calvin and Hobbes, he looks at the microwave popcorn and he's like, 3 minutes? Are you kidding me? Like.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and, the portability and all that stuff, I just think all of it together makes the Switch the ultimate indie console. So I'm loving it. I love the idea of us trying to talk more indies each week. I think it's great. And a lot of them are cheap and relatively cheap. Cheap is a relative term. So a lot of them are not a full retail price game, and that makes it easier to digest and hopefully to hit more people.
Yeah, we have a question from Superstar. It says, Superstar 120, do you guys think that there being Celeste, Super Meat Boy, Slime Sand, and even The End Is Nigh, that's too many games that are similar to each other? I mean, look at a platform like Steam, right? You're going to have thousands of games like that. So, I mean, there could be, if your thing is indies and it's platformers, like, that's only 4 games. So, and it's probably not going to take you more than like maybe a month to beat all of them. I'm speculating here, maybe a little bit longer. Yeah. So I would say no, not yet. And as long as things are still kind of paced the way they are and spaced out, I think we'll be okay.
I also think, like, I haven't played all those Superstar, but I've played Celeste, I've played Super Meat Boy. I don't think they're similar in that they're platformers, but Super Meat Boy and Celeste are very different. So Super Meat Boy is all about speed runs. You got to do it as fast as you can and reach the end goal. Celeste is a little more story driven, and it's a slower pace. Like, you need to figure out what the angle is. You're not just trying to get to the end as quickly as humanly possible. So I think you can have a lot of similarities while keeping it engaging and different enough. Yeah, for sure. And I haven't played those other titles as well. So but playing a game like Celeste kind of makes me want to. It makes me want to play Super Meat Boy for the first time. So in that case, it's actually working to its advantage, or working to the other game's advantage. Super Meat Boy is fun. It's a little different in that Celeste is like a continuous story. They have big levels. Meat Boy would be like one page, not one page, but one like subsection of Celeste, and that's your level. And you're trying to speed run as fast as you can, and you get graded on it. So it's easily digestible, and it's fun, and you can pick it up and play 2 levels really quick while you're sitting in your car waiting for something, and then put it down. Yeah. So moving on to releases, we got February 1st. We have Night in the Woods, Her Majesty's Spiffing, Skyforce Reloaded, SteamWorld Dig, Shiftlings Enhanced Edition. Okay. Eterno Blade, I think I said it right. Samurai Showdown 2. And then on the 2nd, we have Mad Carnage. And the 6th, we have Dandara and Black Hole. So there's... Again, we've still got, like, the games aren't stopping, folks. No. The games aren't stopping. And I'm looking at the list through the 27th here on the Nintendo Switch subreddit, and there's not a small
number of games, including one that I've laughed at every time I see the name, which is called Penny Punching Princess. So that one, that one's got my attention based on the name alone. So, and Pac-Man Championship Edition coming out, Championship Edition number 2, coming out February 22nd. So, still quite a few games. Any games in February that you are like planning on picking up? Like, is Bayonetta a pickup for you?
So I never played the Bayonettas, so I'm definitely going to get those. And we'll talk about those as it gets closer. Also, I'm going to pick up Payday 2 just to gamble on it. It's supposed to be coming out at the end of this month, I believe, the 23rd or 27th. One of them's European, one of them's North America. So I'll gamble on it. I know that people are upset about the support on the other consoles. I will roll the dice and get it because I just want a shooter on the Switch, and I also want to support devs. So, if sales are good, maybe we can get better games in the future. Mm-hmm. And it could be fun if online works at all, and we can perform a heist together. That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's one of those games that has definitely looked fun to me in the past. I just have never. I've never tried it. Like I think one of my boys might have it, but I think he has it digitally. So, so yeah. But he used to like it. So, who knows? And it's coming out physical. So hype.
There you go.
That's a good thing.
There you go.
That's a good thing. So, so then moving right along here, we got as far as like news for this week. It's a little bit slow. Not the most busy news week, but we do have a rumor. Why don't you break this one down?
Yeah, so I saw a rumor. Obviously, all rumor sources are not incredibly credible, but this person posted that there is going to be a new Direct in the middle of February. They said they had 2 independent sources confirming it. And much like everyone speculated, and again, this is all rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. Much like everyone speculated, this was supposed to be the Direct we got in January. And because of that fake 5.0 Switch UI that we saw, Nintendo decided to push this back. So the speculation is it might be something to do with the actual 5.0 OS release. And, if you're Nintendo, it makes total sense that you would move it because we were so hyped for what that guy created for his 5.0 OS. And there's no way we're going to get all those things at once. They're going to, do a phased rollout. And so if after that guy posts that, they're like, oh, we're bringing you the ability to do folders. That's all. No one's going to be excited for that. So, but now that it's been a while and people have forgotten, we might care about folders. I would like folders. I think it'd be cool to be able to group my indies and all that, but whatever. So he said between February 12th and 14th were the rumored dates.
Okay. All right. So. What you got you want to speculate on any games we might see with this thing?
February, man, I would say it's probably going to be a little bit of a focus on third parties. I still think Nintendo is going to try to really hype the third party support in the next couple years. Unless they have some, I think they're going to save Smash for E3. I can't imagine, even if they had something to announce, they would waste it on a middle of February Direct. I
don't think so either. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm guessing third parties. Maybe we get some cool news. I mean, honestly, so many people would be excited if they're like, hey, here's a Direct. And all the Direct was Call of Duty is going to come out in 2018 alongside all others. Now, that's going to make a lot of people's days. So
The chat is about to get triggered, by the way. I'm just five,
Call of Duty is not
4,
for everybody.
3,
I get it.
2, 1.
So, hey, Call of Duty might not be your thing. That's fine. It's historically, I haven't loved them either, but having that on the Switch shows huge support. That's all it really shows, is we're getting the same level of support everyone else is getting. We're getting, a Call of Duty, a Battlefield, whatever.
All 3 of them. You know what? Throw in Titanfall too while you're at it, so we can get we can finally have loot boxes, guys. It'd be so exciting.
Just stealing my excitement. Never mind.
Sorry. Nope. Sorry.
Forget it.
Sorry. It's okay.
You guys heard it here first. They were going to release Call of Duty, but N64 Josh squashed it. So no Call of Duty Switch.
Bro, I love Call of Duty. It's good. Honestly, I think if we do see a direct in February, the games, I think we will probably get more info. Is only going to be games that we know about already that were announced from third parties. I think we might see a little more about Mega Man. I think we might see a little more about Street Fighter. The only thing that that makes me wonder if that's the case is those games are coming out on other systems as well. But so is the Dark Souls remastered, right? So, yeah. I mean, it could be that and why not? Why not Nintendo get out in front of everybody and say, hey, here's where you can get these games? Because where am I going to buy that Street Fighter game? Definitely on the Switch, right? Because that's where the majority of my community's at. We're going to be able to play that game together.
Right.
Mega Man, it belongs on a Nintendo. Right? It belongs there. Plus, it's
absolutely.
And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't we getting a little bit more? Isn't the Mega Man stuff? Aren't we getting like a legacy collection and then Mega Man 11 or something like that? I thought the Switch might be getting what had already come out on the other systems. Maybe somebody in chat can confirm that. Oracle,
you're gonna have to ask Kirby for that information.
Remind me. But that's what I could see is third party stuff. As far as like stuff from Capcom, who knows what, maybe a little bit more about Wolfenstein, right? So it's stuff that we already know is coming, but we don't have a lot of information on yet. So
sure. What about Steep? Is Steep even coming anymore? Are we still getting that game?
I'm not sure. And the Oracle says I've been hearing conflicting reports on Mega Man. So, so there we go. That's that. I have no clue. I feel like because Steep was like an always online game. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. There's a handful of games that we saw, like even all the way back to the original, like announcement.
Right. Yeah. I don't. So yeah, if there is a direct, I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of third party stuff. I just can't see them wasting a February direct. And I shouldn't say wasting because it's good press for any game, but I can't see them using that opportunity to announce a Smash or a Animal Crossing or anything like that. I just don't see it. Those are going to be premium at E3.
Definitely. Yeah, they need to be on the big, like the on the stage basically.
Yeah.
And we won't get into it today, but I want to remind me to bring it up maybe next week. We'll add it to the notes to talk about Nintendo at E3 this year. And just kind of what we're not necessarily our prediction. I want to do that a little closer to E3, but Nintendo knocked it out of the park last year, and I hope they come back swinging as much this year. So I want to get to a couple of questions. Before we do that, though, I think there was one more thing. We got a couple of game delays, right?
Well, we have a big one that just got announced. What was it today? Morphe's Law was delayed. No firm date. Spring, possibly summer is what I saw. Okay. That could be a killer. I mean, I don't know when it was originally slotted to come out. I thought it was first quarter. And now the longer you wait for something like that, you're going to be going up against a lot of premium titles at the end of the year. And it just doesn't give me a warm fuzzy. If they're delaying it, the game always looked a little. I think before the show we were talking that I think the game could be decent, but the gunplay has to be fantastic for me to even have any interest in it, because it's a unique idea, but the gunplay has to be on point. And for them to be pushing it back just doesn't give me a warm fuzzy that game's going to be what we hope it will.
Yeah, I'm with you. The gameplay's got to be there. The gunplay's got to be there for sure. Like, it's one of those games that I'm like, I need to see more of this, and possibly even like play a demo or something before I pull the trigger, because it just looks weird.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, it's kind of a neat concept. You know, there's certain, like, if you get shot too much, when you get shot, do you get bigger or smaller? Either way,
wherever you get hit increases or decreases, I think.
I don't remember. So there's certain things you can only get to if you're a small character, and then, you know, vice versa. So it's definitely interesting. It could be fun. It could be different. But again, gameplay has to be solid. And with them pushing it back, I just don't have a warm fuzzy that it's going to be. I don't know. Well, to be determined.
For sure. All right. We have a couple of questions, but I think we're only able to get to one tonight. So this is from DJ. It says, what if Nintendo created a high-end console? Think something along the lines of PS4 Pro or Xbox One X. This would give Nintendo 3 systems: 3DS, Switch, and said system. And then allow cross-play with itself. Buy a single game and it plays on all 3 systems. Super 4K on the new console, scaled down for the Switch. And then when played on 3D on 3DS, it automatically would play as a 2D retro version. Totally unrealistic, I know. But what kind of games would you like to see on this type of system family? Would you love to see how they would create Splatoon to work as a 2D competitive shooter?
Mario Odyssey, I think, would be the perfect game for this, right? I mean, it already captures that.
Yeah, I mean, this is totally out there, but they could they could totally say, like, hey, if you have all 3 systems, you can only play these levels on this console. Oh, I mean, gamers would love that. They love it when stuff is locked out from. I personally, as a gamer, I really like when you put stuff behind paywalls. Like, I love that. So the more we can get behind paywalls, I am all about it. All right, bring me that Super 4K. I want that. Hey,
a Switch Pro or a Switch, whatever you want to call it, that doesn't really hurt my feelings at all. I'd probably buy it. I have a 1X, so that would be cool for me, as long as it doesn't segregate the community. The 3DS is a nice pipe dream, but you're never gonna pay for one and play it on all 3. That's not happening. But a year, 2 years from now, we see a Switch Pro. That doesn't bother me at all. I'd be fine with that. You know, because that would generally mean that the main Switch is going to come down in price, and the Switch Pro is going to, you know, be a little more expensive. I'm cool with that. Let's do it.
When he said, would love to see how they would create Splatoon to work as a 2D competitive shooter, like seeing all the ink as like pixel art, you know, like that was the first thing that kind of came to my mind. And I mean, who knows? It could be pretty cool.
I was just thinking Splatoon Contra like mashup is what we would see,
like
which would be totally awesome.
Side-scrolling shooter with just so many colors all over the place. Yeah, I mean,
cool. They should just do that anyways.
Exactly. We're just dropping all the good ideas tonight. So, but yeah, I mean, seeing Splatoon like that, we kind of got to experience that with Odyssey, seeing them jump into the 2D stuff, you know, even games like ARMS. And I mean, it's as goofy as it was, but even Celeste, just going from the 16-bit back to the 8-bit, I'm like, this is cool. This is hard, but this is cool. You know, yeah. I really liked it. So good question, man. Thank you for that. our retro question of the night. It's not really a question. I'm just going to be letting you guys know what I'm going to be doing this Thursday. I will be on the Nintendo Dads podcast. I do believe it's live on their YouTube channel. I will post in the Discord when it is happening. If it's not live, then I will just post the link when the show is available. But we are doing, I think they call it a retro replay or something like that, where we're going to be talking about Metroid Prime. So Thursday, before the show, the podcast, I'm going to be streaming Metroid Prime. I have the trilogy, so I'm gonna have to do it with a Joy-Con. And there was another question. So anyway, we'll get to that question. But Metroid Prime, we're gonna be talking about it on the Nintendo Dads podcast. I am looking forward to it. So, what is this? Where was the question? Did you find it?
No.
She's
Kirby pasted it back in there.
Yeah, I don't see anything that she said here. Is it the open world Pikmin game with a lot of online players for Mr. Person? That would be interesting for sure. So, but okay, well, let's do this giveaway, and
yeah,
if they do type another question in the chat, go ahead and snag it. But otherwise, I'm just getting into Nightbot here.
No, she's just complaining that there wasn't a real retro question.
Oh, I understand.
We can make one up really quick. Hey, everybody, what's the best game on N64, and why is the answer always Ocarina of Time? Anyone?
Oh my gosh.
That's our retro question for the chat today.
All right, guys, if you want to win Floor Kids, just type Floor Kids as one word. Go right now. Type in Floor Kids. Type in Floor Kids.
And for anyone listening who can't obviously type in Floor Kids, come hang out in the Discord, which is in the show notes, and have an opportunity to win it again Friday.
Yeah, come hang out in the Discord. There is a link in the show notes. First link you see. Just click that and come join us. So
Crazy Legs, looks like you just came in. If you want to win Floor Kids, go ahead and type Floor Kids now. And I do want to give a huge shout out to the devs. We reached out to them. I was surprised that they were so accommodating to give us three copies. They said they loved the community, loved the show. So it's all on them. You know, if any of them are listening, you guys rock, and you've made a great game, and I'm so excited we get to share that with more people now.
Yes, this is very, very cool. Thank you guys so much. So far I see 15 users. Everybody that wants to be in, type Floor Kids now. This is your last chance. Last chance. Here we go. There's one more. Okay. All right. And I'm rolling the first one. Hey, Crazy Legs. Congratulations.
Ooh, congrats.
Congratulations. So Crazy Legs, hit me up either in the Discord or whisper me on Twitch, and I will get you your code. And here we go. Everyone type Floor Kids again. Let's go. One more time. Everybody type Floor Kids again if you want to be entered to win. Actually, it looks
Crazy
like
Legs.
Everyone's there. Everyone's in. So I'm just going to roll it. Here we go. Everyone's still there.
Right.
Here we go. Games at Dusk. Congratulations. So there we go. I will get you guys your codes. Thank you guys for playing tonight. It was good. So awesome. We're right at that hour mark, man. So where can people find you?
Before I do that, I want to say, if you guys can do a solid who have won, when you get a chance and you have a Twitter, throw some love at the Floor Kids crew. I think their Twitter is at Floor Kids Crew.
Yes.
Give them a shout out, thank them, maybe post a picture. Those guys are awesome. But you can find me on Twitter at Hate0, 0 with an X. And pretty much you'll find me here on Tuesdays. You'll find me in the Discord. I'm the weird one. That's all I got.
Excellent. Guys, you're going to find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Did I miss any of them? I don't know. There's so many.
Farmers Only.
Farmers Only, yeah. All the places. It's N64 Josh. Just look them up. You can follow me on any of them. Monday nights, we have been streaming Mario Kart Mondays. It has been a ton of fun. A ton of fun. I have been the target of many of shells, either thrown forward or backwards. That's right. I'm looking at you guys. I have a list for everybody that throws shells at me when they're in front of me. So, but no, it's been a ton of fun doing that. Also, Friday nights we've been trying to do some late night like Mario Kart or Splatoon or something. So make sure to follow on Twitch if you want to get in on some of those games. Get in the Discord, and I always post when I'm going live, and it's been a ton of fun. Take out Josh Mondays, as Nightcrawler says. So that's, yeah.
I'm gonna make a bold statement.
Okay.
I'm gonna join a Mario Kart Monday.
Ooh, there it is. You heard it here first.
You'll have to come to all of them to see which one I'm joining.
Come to all of them to make sure you find it. So, remember, you can go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Get yourself a free book from Audible. OPSeat.com. Get yourself an affordable, comfortable gaming chair. Use coupon code N64Josh. And I do have a Patreon if you guys want an extra podcast each month. Go to patreon.com/N64Josh and check out the tiers that are available. I want to thank everybody for all the reviews. We are so close to having 100 reviews on iTunes. So if we could get there by next week, that would be super awesome. If you like this show, we need as many 5-star reviews as possible. Even if you don't have the time to write anything, if you can just go into the iTunes app and just hit the 5 stars, that also is extremely helpful. So we greatly appreciate everybody that's done that, everybody that listens, everybody that shows up live. Thank you guys. Seriously, this is a ton of fun, and we really, really can't thank you all enough. So with that, let's get out of here, man. Have a good one, guys. Later, dude.
Goodbye.